Record. Excellent. So you'll have access to this recording as long as you like to use it. There's going to be some exercises in here that I think that will be helpful for you. And yeah, welcome to the summer renewal and welcome to the first day of summer. I am so glad it's summer. I'm out in Pennsylvania and I have with me, I just want to introduce him. This is the other great half of my business. His name's Dan Ostrowski. And Dan, he's the guy, like if you call us, he's the actual guy that you talk to. And I just wanted you to put a name with the face. And Dan, just where are you tuning in from today?
Oh, hey, everybody. I am in northern Baltimore County. So I'm in Maryland, kind of, working my way towards the Pennsylvania line, north of the city of Baltimore. I'm delighted to see all of you here. I've talked to a lot of you on the phone. I see all kinds of names popping up here that I'm familiar with. So, it's great to see you again. And we're glad that we're able to get together on a Saturday to do this. Feel free, our phone number's out there. I'll pop it in the chat at some point, later on the program. If you ever have any questions or, you need to chat about anything that has to do with what you're doing with us, I'd love to talk to you. So just pick up the phone, give us a call. And otherwise, you guys are in the very capable hands of Jim Donovan. And he's the reason why you're here. Definitely it's not for me. So I'm going to benefit just as much as you are today. So with that, I just want to welcome everybody. Say hi. My name is Dan Ostrowski, or they call me Dan O. And we'll maybe talk to you later on. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Jim.
Great. Thanks so much, Dan. And I just want everybody to know also, Dan was the guy who bugged me for about 5 years that I should put some of the things that I do online. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if anyone's going to look at this. And he wouldn't stop until I finally said, yeah, let's do this. And here we are all these years later. So it's no secret that the world is intense. I think it's always been intense one way or another for people. And one of the things I know that helps me is actually admitting the fact that things feel intense and then leaning into things that I know that can help. And that's what I'm here for today. I'm going to get as much benefit, physiologically and mentally from what we do today, hopefully as you do. This is one of the things I love about my work is that I get to benefit as we do this together. And so if you're brand new to me, this is a format that I do every month. We do live sessions. This is the first free one that we've done. I wanted to just give more people access to this, especially right now as things can be a little intense for us. So what I love is for you to participate as you like today. Feel free to do or not do anything, obviously. Sometimes when someone's saying something to you, you feel like you have to. If something doesn't feel right, of course, just take a break or feel free to adapt to any of the things that I ask you to do today. I'd love to know where you're tuning in from. So if you wouldn't mind just putting in the chat, if you want to, where you're tuning in from, and maybe like a word about, honest word. How you feeling today? How are you today? And while you do that, I am going to get one thing ready for you. So just give me 1 second. All right, I need to open up the chat. Here you are. Right, we've got people already chiming in. I'll be able to read a couple of these. We've got New Brunswick, Canada in the house. Hey, Diane. And Lizzie's here from North Wales. I'm part Welsh. Nice to see you. Angela from the UK. And we've got some folks from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Nice. More UK. People are feeling anxious and wiped out, I'm seeing. Phoenix, Ohio. So nice to see so many people. And I love that we can get together in my basement. You never make a mess when you're here, which is really nice. So thanks for that. Thanks for keeping it clean. I'm just teasing. So today we're going to get into, so I think of these renewals like a reset. I do one of these in the wintertime, and I'd like to do one in the summertime. And the idea is just recommitting to taking better care of ourselves. It's that simple. Today we're going to get into a couple other interesting things I don't normally talk about, which are eliminating some of the things that we do to sabotage ourselves in this process of taking better care of ourselves. I'm going to give you a blueprint, an actual PDF that you'll get with the email later on of how you can keep yourself on track. And then we're going to get into a little bit of how we can harness some of, I call them micro moments, just the little moments through the day that we can kind of leverage and really give ourselves little bits of micro self-care that over time really add up to helping us to feel quite a bit better. Also, if you have a question today, I'm going to do a Q&A at the end. I'll stay as long as I can to answer everything. What will help us, since there's so many of us, is if you could put the letter Q at the very beginning of your question. That way, when we're going down through all the comments, we can see, oh, here's a question because there's a letter Q at the beginning. So if you can remember that, do your best to do that. All right, so I see a lot of folks, some people are feeling good, some people are feeling pensive. We've got folks that are feeling wiped out. So I'd like us just to kind of get our brains and our hands and our body more involved in this. And let's just prep ourselves for what we're going to do today. I'm going to turn on some jams here. Here it is. Now, you're invited to scoot your chair back a little bit. You need access to your legs. We're going to use our hands. I'm just going to move my stuff here, so hold on. Oh, it's sounding good. Good, good. All right, welcome to my basement. So the very first thing is just clap. And I'm also getting my legs going step, step, step. Just do what you can, right? It's always okay just to do what you can. So keep going. Keep going. And if I can see, you raise the roof just a little bit. Yep. And let's stretch. Stretch over to the side. And then stretch over the other side. Excellent. And then let's just tap a shoulder. Other side. Good, 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 good. Now can you both shoulders at the same time? Just let your body relax a little bit. Make sure that you're still breathing, right? Don't hold your breath. Good, good. And then just get your belly. Some tapping. Wake it up if it's comfortable. And then your arm. Yeah, other arm. Keep going, gotta let some more people in. Yep, good, 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 good. And then gently with the fingertips, a little bit of tapping up here. Just wake up the brain, get the back. Wake it up, wake it up, wake it up. Wake it up, wake it up, wake it up. Good, good. Get your legs. Get the legs. Still breathing. Let your jaw relax. No clenching, right? And then get the sides of the legs. Good. You got it. You got it. Keep going, going. And now let's shake, 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 shake. Shake, 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 shake. Keep on shaking. And then shake front ways. And then vigorously shake right at the camera. Say hi to people. Good, 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 good. Here we are. We got the legs going. We got the hands going. Let's just do a couple rhythms. We're going to go lap, clap, lap, clap. Don't worry about being perfect. Just do your best. Keep breathing. Yep. Let's try another rhythm. We're going to go sides of the legs, top. Sides of the legs, top. Sides of the legs, top. New one. Shoulder, leg. Other side if you can. There we go. Now if you can keep those legs going, you're going to burn extra calories. I don't charge any extra for that today. Very nice. Now, can we put the hand on each knee, one at a time, back and forth. And the other hand, just hold it up like this. And can you wave at the same time? Sometimes the brain goes, what's happening out there? It's all right. It's good to challenge that brain. We got to do it regularly. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Let's switch sides. So switch hands that are on the legs. And here we go. Now can you push towards the screen like that? I know, that's a lot. We're doing virtual high fives over and over because that's how awesome we are. We need more high fives. Still breathing, right? No holding the breath. Good. Now, let's drum fast. Drum, 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 drum. Good, 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 good. Get ready. 4, 3, 2, and let's stop. Nicely done. Give yourself a hand. Bravo, bravo, bravo. Let me bring all my situation back over here to you. All right, here we are. So you're invited just to take a moment to notice what, if anything, feels different just after a little bit of rhythmic movement. Just notice that. Feel free to put something in the chat if you like about that. Remember, everything's optional today. If I ask you to put something in the chat, you don't have to if you don't want to. But it's a way to get community happening here. So I'd like to bring up a little thing for us to look at. Let's just check it out. So you and then share. All right. There's this idea, I bet you've maybe seen this somewhere, this phrase of the next best version of you. For me, this harkens to something that I think really helps me a lot. And it's this idea that just in a lifetime, I believe that we always have an opportunity to be becoming, right? Becoming whatever we put our energy towards. So in a way, like, it's the idea that we determine so much of our experience here. Are there things that we're not in control of? Absolutely. But by and large, we have a lot to say about how our existence here unfolds. And so this idea of creating the next best version of you, to me, is I think it's a big deal throughout the lifetime, no matter what stage that we're in. So where I like to start, and this is something I'd like you to think about, is, what are some things that are not caffeine related, right, that give you energy? What gives you energy? I think this is the first place to start, because when we know that, like, we've got some instant ideas of what we can add to our days, and you may already do this, which is just fine. And with that, to think about what depletes you. There's so much that depletes me. I can watch, for example, just even hearing a news show for a moment, I can notice my energy just start to drop. Or if I'm with somebody and they're complaining a lot, that really depletes my energy. If I'm complaining a lot, that really depletes my energy. And so I'm asking you these questions now, but these are going to be questions that are on the PDF that you'll get later on, when you'll have an opportunity to kind of build yourself a little plan around this. So the first step in this stuff is awareness, just being aware that there are things that give me energy. There are things that deplete me. And then to make decisions about, what's really important. After that, then it's just repeating what's helping and letting go more of what's not helping. All of this, including the exercise we're going to do in just a moment, is about taking consistent and deliberate action. So when we do these kinds of things, I'm always going to keep reminding all of us, myself included, to be patient, to resist self-judgment in this, to ask for help. That's what we're here for. And also, when you fall off, whatever the wagon is, you just restart, without all the self-judgment that sometimes we have. And then you persist. I think about, when we're talking about this next best version, I think about how in the world did whoever invented the wheels long ago, how did they get from trying to cut pieces of a tree and make it circular? I think, like, the first people that had to do that, how many times they had to fail, and things would break and it wouldn't work, but they knew they needed this wheel. This wheel is so critical to so many of the things that we use still today. And then I think about, in today's terms, how many failures did a tech company have to go through to get to a place where we have this little device that has access to pretty much all the information in the world? It's quite striking what happens when we're persistent. So again, I'm going to invite you, as we go through our time here, think about what, that something that's not substance related. What gives you energy? In fact, if you want to put something in the chat now about that, you can feel free to do that. And then lastly, all this stuff is one step at a time. We're not going to be able to maybe build the wheel the first time or the third time. But that small, micro, consistent action can really play quite a big difference. So when we talk about these things, sometimes we start to think, wow, well, that's nice and all, Jim, but right now I have anxiety and I can't do anything before I deal with this. And so I want to get into the second piece of what we do here, which is engaging in a practice. A practice is something that you can choose to do regularly, something that you lean into and kind of almost befriend it, right? You make it part of your system so that it's something that you would do just like getting up and putting your socks on in the morning, like something on that level. The practice, we're going to do a version of one of my most popular exercises. I call it the full body sound healing sequence. And if you've done that with me before, this is going to be a little bit different. We're going to add some things to it that I think you'll enjoy. But the invitation for this is when we're doing it, listen to your body. Make sure that, like, if you feel dizzy or lightheaded, that understand that you've had enough and that it's not a contest of who can go the longest. Okay, make sure you're really tuned into that part. So I'm going to ask you just to make yourself really comfortable. Just get yourself into whatever position you'd like to be for that. I'll be sitting through this. When we do this exercise, we are going to bring sound vibration, so resonance, energetic movement, into the inside of your body through your voice. So a lot of you have probably heard me talk about the vagus nerve and vagus nerve stimulation. What we're doing with sound, self-created sound, is stimulating the nerve so that it becomes stronger, so that it will turn on your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest function, and so that over time, if you decide to make this a practice, that your nervous system gets stronger, more resilient, so that when you get stressed, it doesn't take you down into the pit. It keeps you being able to shake off the stress literally more quickly than would be typical. So we're going to start this exercise. If you've done it with me before, sometimes we start up here. This time we're going to start down at the waist, near reproductive area. I'm going to add hand positions when we do this stuff. These are optional. I like these just because they feel comforting to do the sound and the positions at the same time. They're up to you. Do them as you like. So the first position for my hands, I'm going to hold down by my waist. I just put my hands kind of over the hips, near the waist. And we're going to, the whole time, we want to keep our spine straight. So sound, interestingly, the nervous system and specifically the spine conducts vibration very, very efficiently, especially if we keep a decent straight posture. Do your best with that as you can. So hands are down at the waist, and the sound we're going to use is the sound U-M-M. When we do this, we're elongating a tone. What you don't need is to be in tune with me, all right? What you don't need is a great voice. As long as you have a speaking voice, right, you've already got enough to do this. So don't get caught up in perfect, okay? That's super important. Just let whatever sound comes out of your voice come out. All right, so I'll demonstrate, and you can do it along with me if you like. I'm going to take a really deep breath in, and then we make the sound. It's that simple. When we work with these parts of the body, something else we can do to supercharge what we're doing is, and this might sound a little funny, which is to talk to these parts of us. Sometimes we say some of the worst stuff about different parts of us in our mind to ourselves. I'm going to invite you today to shift that idea, and instead, when we go to these centers in the body, to speak to them as if they were a child that you loved, right? That kind of vibration to them. So here we are with the hips. One thing I'll say to myself during this section is I'm so grateful that this part of my body gives me so much energy. I have kids, and so it helped me to bring some life into the world with my wife. Beautiful, important stuff. So we're going to breath in. Here we go. Beautiful. And you can keep that gratitude going in your mind about these parts of us if you want. Breath in. Again. Please allow yourself to use your voice. Don't hold back. Here we go. Breath in. Breathing in. And how about one more? Beautiful. As we make these sounds, you can imagine and maybe even feel, in some cases, the vibration that we are creating in our vocal cords, right, in the voice box. And imagine that the movement, that energetic movement, moves all throughout the body. Remember, the vagus nerve is everywhere, right, all through the torso, throughout all the organs. It is in the brain. It's behind the eyes. It's in the middle ear. This is your body's communication internet pathways, right? Let's move now up to, belly button. Again, I'm going to invite you just to take a moment, and you can even just say this stuff to yourself, but talk to your belly. Give it some gratitude for digesting your food every day, for keeping you alive here. All these energy centers keep you here on the planet. The sound here is the sound oom. Ready? Here we go. Breath in. Oom. Good. Again. Excellent. How about one more? Beautiful. Take a moment for yourself. Next sound is our buddy, the sound Om, O-M. So we're putting our hands right at the base of the rib cage. It's called the solar plexus. This is the seat of courageousness and decisiveness. All right, so spine straight. Use whatever voice you've got, but let yourself use it. You don't have to hold back. Breath in. And again. Again. Couple more. Last one. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We're going to bring the hands right up to the heart. That heartbeat of yours has been beating from day one, still to this day. Give it some gratitude. Thank it, thank it, thank it. What would happen if we treated our body like the people that we love the most? How might that change so many things about how we feel about ourselves? The sound here is the sound Om. Now look at me for a second. When you do Om, it isn't this little sound. It's not What you want to do is use the full resonating chamber, which is your mouth and your jaw, and it's like this. This brings more stimulation to the nerve and just gives you a better outcome overall with how this affects the entire body. So try it out. Here we go. Nice wide jaw, breath in. Good. Again. Excellent. Again. You got it. Again. And last one. Excellent. I'm going to invite you to take a moment to notice if the body from the chest down somehow feels any different than from the neck up. See if you can feel a contrast. Sometimes that happens. Take a moment to do that. For this next sound, we're going to be going to the communication pathway. This part of us where it really governs our ability to be truthful, right? To be compassionate through our words, to be loving through our words. We use our fingertips very lightly. If that's not comfortable, you don't have to do it, obviously. But just all along the vocal cords right here. So I'm just touching gently. I'm not, doing any pressure. And the sound here is it's the vowel I with the M at the end. So I'm. Let's try it. It's like I, E, M. Here we go. You got it. Again. Another one. Last time. Very nice. When we are in these energy centers, right? I mean, it's all you. It's all part of your body. It's important, though, to tell your body, to tell your brain how much you appreciate all of these functions. I know a lot of us get hard on the voice, right? We say terrible things about how our voice isn't what we want it to be. I'm really serious about this. I'm inviting you to consider not doing that anymore. Like that could be one way to reclaim some energy. Every time you speak poorly about yourself, the brain's listening all the time. And it goes, well, I guess maybe this is how I should be. So just something to consider. We are almost there. We're going to start to work with our intuition center, right? And I like to put one palm on the very base of my skull back here, and take breaks from this as you need to, right? And then I like to face palm here. The sound here it's the word aim, A-Y-M is how I pronounce it. And it'd be A-M. It's okay if you can't go as long as me. It's okay if you can go longer too. Just do what you can comfortably. That's all you ever need to do. Here we go. Breath in. There you go. Breath in. Yeah, good. Again. Beautiful. Let me hear you. Breath in. Excellent. Rest those arms. We've got one more sound to do. For this one, I put it right over the middle of my body here, just right below the chest. In the other hand, I hold the top. This is the vowel E, so that the sound is eem. While you're here, give some love to your brain, your command center up there, even if you're forgetting things once in a while. It's all right. Love it anyway. Here we go. Breath in, spine straight. Fantastic. Again, breath in. Almost there. Breath in. Here comes the last one. Very nice. Please take a few moments. I'm going to bring my hand pan over. I want to play some music for you. The invitation is to resist distraction right now and just feel into what you just created in your body. Let's get some of this going here. Still breathing. Invitation is to close your eyes. You can reflect, you could pray, meditate, whatever you like. Just take some nice, slow, deep breaths. I hope you're feeling better after that. I'd love to hear, love to hear how you're doing. You came in just a little while ago, about 45 minutes ago. You were however you were then. I'm wondering what's true now. Feel free to pop that in the chat. Boy, we've got a big old chat here. People are going to sleep well tonight. Yeah. Balanced, relaxed, feeling good. You're breathing again. That's important. Keep doing that, please. Connected to self, relaxed, lighter in the heart. Yeah, I want you to hear that even though I'm leading you in exercises, you did that for yourself. You decided, for whatever reason, to show up here today to take some action. Those are the big things. You make a decision, and then you take the action, and then suddenly there's some sort of a change. Remember we talked about what brings you energy. This is what we're talking about. Hopefully this brings you some energy. And if it works for you, now you're going to have this exercise. It's going to be, we're going to send you the video of this whole session so you can review it. and you can use it anytime. It's yours to have, and just enjoy that. In fact, if you have friends and you get this recording and you want to share it with them, feel free to do that too. It's all right with me. Okay. So a couple of things here. I want to show you what the this blueprint looks like. So let me just see if I can pull this up. Is it this? Let's see. All right. So in this blueprint, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's got a whole bunch of sections, not a whole bunch, there's like 4 of them, and they basically get you to really fine-tune, your thoughts about, what gives you energy. What are the main concerns about symptoms you might be having, like anxiety, for example. And then it asks you to identify unhelpful habits or patterns, things that you know for sure aren't doing any good. And you're just identifying them, right? The third section, you are choosing new habits, and you're writing them down. And there's something that happens when we write this stuff down. It makes it more real than just having it nebulously in the brain. And then the last section, section 4, is to get really specific. Now, again, you're doing this yourself, and you can skip over anything. But if you really want your money's worth today, try this, right? Give yourself specific times that you're going to do maybe the exercise we just did. Specific times that you're going to do some deep breathing. Make that self-care stuff like top of the list. Because if that stuff's in order, everything else through the day is going to be better. When that stuff is not in order, usually the opposite happens. At least I know for myself that's true. We have to make it important. We make it important. And listen, I'm not lecturing you. I'm mostly speaking to myself. I have to do this too. I do this for a living, and I have to remind myself too. So we're all in this together. So that's going to come along with the recording of this. And the last thing I'll tell you about, and then we'll do a Q&A, is so I do this every month, and usually people when they pay for a session like this, it's $79. If you're interested in doing some more of these, I do classes on all kinds of things that are wellness education. So we talk about brain health, heart health, mood improvement, things like tinnitus or tinnitus. And the idea is that every month you're getting something new, something different. We get to do the exercises together, and there's something about just having a dedicated time that you know you're going to learn something new, take care of yourself. My goal is always when you finish one of these sessions that you feel better than when you arrived. That's my mandate to myself, because if I were you, I would want that too. So we have a deal today. We're giving folks. Dan gave me this. So if you want to get on our monthly thing, it's $49 a month. Usually it's $79. And I'm also going to throw in, I have a new product. It's called Vegas Frequency. It'll be totally free if you do the master classes. And if you decide that the master class thing, like you sign up for it and it's not for you, you can cancel and you can still keep this course. It's a product that's designed to do exercises like we've done to help with anxiety specifically, and also brain fog. Also, you can. Dan's going to put his phone number in the chat. If you want to just call him and order, he can help you walk you through it. In fact, you can do that anytime. And Dan, you can put that number in the chat if you wouldn't mind, if you haven't done that already. So yeah, would love to see you again. We're actually going to do another one of these next week. It's called Sound Heart, and that one would be included in your new subscription if you decide to get that. There's no pressure either. If this is something that's for you, I just want you to know it's there. I think it's probably one of the best ways I can be of service to you, and so I just wanted to give you that. All right, so we're gonna pivot here to the Q&A, and let me just get into. Let's see here. I'm gonna get into some questions. I see that there's like hundreds of questions or hundreds of comments. So if you put in a question like even 10 minutes ago, it's in the ether. All right. Oh, here's one from Paul DeFranco. This is a good one. Can you overdo vagus nerve work? Yes. Just like any exercise, your body will start to tell you, hey, whoa, 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 you've had enough. Like if I'm on the treadmill at the gym, my heart tells me, hey, listen, you need to slow down a little bit. We're pumping too hard and you're running out of air. In this work, that usually takes the form of you feel a little bit lightheaded. Sometimes that's just you brought in more oxygen than you usually do. That's usually what it is. So if you start to feel like any discomfort, just like you would at the gym, you stop the exercise. For some of us, we have just a small capacity for this work, and it doesn't mean that it's not helping. In fact, you'll notice over time when you work with this stuff that it's easier to take it for longer periods of time without feeling any discomfort. Some folks don't feel any discomfort. I think most do. This is what I love about this. But at first, you try a little bit, see how it feels, and if it's good, try a little bit more, and just gauge it that way. Great question. Thank you for that. And I got to put my glasses on for these questions. Let's see here. Edith has a beautiful comment here about the gardening for peace. I love that. Does this make people hot? That's a great question. Sometimes the body will generate some heat after making these sounds. And so again, when you're doing this, we're working with the nervous system, and you just take your time. If it's uncomfortable, you take a break. And my friend Linda, so nice to see you today. Karen's wondering how often do I recommend doing these exercises? So start with once a day. See how that goes. Over time, what's happened for me, now this is what I'll suggest, is that anytime I feel like my nervous system is starting to get a little bit wiggly, if I start to go up into higher stress, I adjust my breathing. That's the first thing. I start to breathe slower. And then I'll lean into even a part of the exercise. Maybe I just do the sound or the sound. I can do one of them over and over again, right? You can really customize it that way. So start slow with it. Try once a day, and if that works, carry on. Some folks love to do it right before bedtime. If it's an exercise that made you yawn, that's very common. That's your parasympathetic nervous system coming online. Then it's great for bedtime. There's some folks, I just talked to one this past week, who that exercise gives them a lot of energy. So in that case, I suggest try it in the morning. Put the time where you're going to be able to use some of that energy. Let's see what else we have here. My friend's thanking me for sending the recording. Absolutely, that's what we're here for. Deanna, I'm so glad you feel cared for. This is what we do here. My mission is to help people learn how to reduce their own suffering. I've had people that have helped me over the years that still help me, and I know what a big deal that is. So thank you for that. That means a lot to me. Have I found this breathing sound technique helps singers? Lucy, yes. As a singer, I can tell you that my voice now is richer and fuller as a result of working with my voice every day, as you might imagine. Like when you do vocal exercises, you're doing vagus nerve stimulation. This exercise, these are just really fine-tuned so that we get lots of stimulation through the whole body and not just up here, right? So the different positions of the jaw help the sound to move to different spots in the body. That's why we do them like that. But yes, singers, excellent exercise for us. Let's see. I've done this exercise each day recently. I never yawn, I never feel sad, and I share it with others, but they have self-discipline challenges. I don't know anything about that. Thank you, and Carlos does the exercise. Awesome. Here's a question. Can this help me with spinal cord injury? This is a good question. So what we're doing here, let's be super clear. This is not a magical cure-all. We're not going to be able to cure cancer, or somehow the spinal injury gets fixed by what we're doing. What we are doing, and this is super important, we are helping the body be more efficient at helping itself to heal itself. Understand that by and large, the majority of the healing that happens in your body is your body regenerating. It does this all the time. Every night, we are building new cells. We are shedding ones that no longer need to be there. We are replenishing, every cell in the body, that makes up what we are. When we are calm, when we are not in chronic stress, that is when the body does its most efficient healing work. So our job, really, if we're trying to heal from something, is to find ways to help ourselves get as relaxed as possible regularly, especially at bedtime. Really important. When I was recovering from, I had a septic shock and some awful surgeries that went wrong. I had to do this to rehab. It took me about 6 months. I did what the nurses told me. I did the high density, high nutrition diet. I did the walking. I had to retrain myself how to walk. And I did vagus nerve stimulation. And of course, sleeping. So good luck with that. Take your time. Only do, again, what feels comfortable as you do this. Jody's asking, can we start the exercise up here? Yes, I often do that. You can go either way and see which one you like better. Good question. Do you need to do a warm-up exercise first? What I found today was I didn't do quite enough vocal warm-ups to really have my voice as clear as possible. Now, as a speaker, as a singer, I go to lengths to do that. But for this exercise, you can, if you feel like you need to warm up, like you can just do just some soft humming, like if your voice doesn't feel great, and then progress into the louder sounds. It's going to be dependent on how we are that day. We all are different, and we're all different sometimes each day. That's an excellent question. All right. Maureen's asking, I was surprised to have my body be okay. Healing broken right wrist for 6 months. I practiced being flexible. Excellent. I'm glad to see that. Stretching is so good. I've been doing that every night before bed too. Cindy, I'll see you at the Great Rhythm Revival. That'll be fun. Have the vibrations helped correct AFib? This goes into the basket of We're not going to cure AFib with this. My mother has that. She does these exercises, but we want to make sure that we're thinking about it right. The body is what does the healing work most of the time. Sometimes we have surgeries and that happens. Sometimes we have to take medicine and that does it. But what we are doing is we're making the body system have the ability to point its energy to healing when we are relaxed. Sound-based vagus nerve stimulation does that for us. It helps us to get into the parasympathetic nervous system state. Parasympathetic dominance, it's called. So it can help you with this. I would talk with the doctor first if you're not sure. I think it's always good just to double check about things. If you're healthy enough to sing, you're healthy enough to do an exercise like this. And just listen to your body like everybody should. All right. Mary's also asking about the spinal injury. That's the same answer I would give as we did before. What adaptations can we do? Angela's asking. Great question. So adaptations can be anything from how long you do it. So I was elongating my sounds for probably 6 or 7 seconds. You could reduce it to your lung capacity. You could use a different pitch in your voice. So my voice is a little bit lower, but you could, if you're doing eem, for example, you go eem. You could do it higher. So those are good adaptations, and you can do just one sound and see how it feels, right? Make it yours, right? I'm showing you, sort of the big system of it, but you can use pieces of it as you like. Also a great question. Oh yes, my friend Sue's reminding me that we can do these exercises. We don't have to like sit at our chair and do them. I often will do them if I'm washing the dishes. I like to do some of the exercises when I'm running the sweeper, especially running the sweeper, because no one can hear, no one can complain, right? Cynthia's asking, can this help concussion? I don't know about that. In fact, when you're doing these exercises, I've had some folks that have had like traumatic brain injury. Sometimes the vibration's a little too much for them. So just gauge yourself. If you were able to do some of this stuff today and it felt good, then I wouldn't hesitate to check it out again and see if that helps again. All right. Chris is asking about the vowel sounds with the locations. We talked about that just a second ago. Oh yeah, so Angela, the adaptations, if you're talking about the hand positions, you could leave those out and it's still going to work for you, right? All the big work is happening right with your voice, okay? So if you can't do this stuff, you can just leave it out. That's all optional. I have a friend here asking, they have a voice disorder and the flaps are not together. Will this help get my normal voice back? That's a really good question. That's outside of my expertise. I am not sure. I would consult if you have a voice doctor, someone that you're working with, ask them first and see. I wish I had a better answer for you. That's got to be challenging. Thank you for asking that. If you have a vagus nerve stimulator, so some of these devices that we're seeing out there, can you use it with this program? No one's ever asked me that question before. So a vagus nerve stimulator basically is doing what we're doing, except it's doing it with electricity from outside of your body and in. There are some of those that I think are approved. I don't use them. I like to be really in control of exactly how much of the vibration is happening, and so that's why I use the voice. I think honestly it would be overkill to use both at the same time. I would say one or the other. I wouldn't want to overdo the nerve, right? So that's my best answer for that one. Good question. Good question. My friend Ken is saying, trying to apply this type of work with sensory overwhelm concerns during medical appointments. Should I continue to pursue this? So Ken, I think it's a good idea. Again, I've known you for quite a while. I think that you do it as it feels right. If you do it right before appointments, that helps. I know when I was going through all my procedures, that they were intense, and I would sometimes, if I couldn't do it out loud because there's doctors everywhere, I would actually just think about the sound and have the sound moving through my head the whole time as I was just doing really slow breathing. If I could offer one thing, it would be during your appointment, remind yourself to exhale slowly like this. Right, really limit how quickly the air comes out, and that'll signal to your body that everything's okay. I hope that helps. Really good question. Well, we got a bunch of great questions today. You're welcome, Lucy. Does this, Sherry's asking, does this also help balance the endocrine organs? Thank you so much. That's outside of my expertise as well. I will look that up, though. That's an interesting question. I will see what I can find out about that. Very nice, very nice. And I'm seeing this. Yeah, so Dan, if people are interested in doing these sessions, we do these Q&As through these sessions every week that we get to, or every month that we get together. And he's got a link here, and you can click on the link, or you can call Dan if you want to get in this. Here's my friend Emma. I'm so glad, Emma, that you're using your voice for sound. There's so many people I've met that have had a situation that you've experienced. I'm sorry that you experienced all that. And I'm really so glad that you're doing this with us now. This is, your voice is your birthright, right? Let me say it again. Your voice is your birthright. You were born with it, just like your heart. Your heart always is working, right? It beats no matter what anybody thinks. The voice is the same, right? It's yours to use. Thank you for that. I'm glad this is helping. All right, my friend Isabel's going to bed in Australia because it's 2 a.m. I don't blame you. Can one lay down and do the exercises? Absolutely, wherever you're most comfortable. And then you could take a nap afterwards. You're already in position. All right, yes, the recordings are coming. All right, let's see here. Yep, Linda, there'll be a recording, don't worry. Okay, so we've done it. We have made it to the end. I'm so grateful that you could be with us today. I hope this was helpful, and I do hope that I get to see you again sometime. And yeah, look, we'll have this recording and the PDF blueprint out to you soon, and so look for that. And listen, happy summer. Have a great, great, great summer, and invitation to think about those things that bring you energy, and to try to let go of some of the ones that don't. I'll see you next time. Much love.